Will you stop writing on the board? Well, yes, I'll do that. Well, I was smart started. See, coming to TestNG, see, TestNG is a testing framework used to validate Java code units. Java program units. So, one moment. People are continuously joining. Did you understand the term? A testing framework used to validate Java program unit. Did you understand the term? Did you understand the term? It is used to validate Java program units. Means, what do you mean by that? In a Java class, we create some methods. Every method is a unit, agreed? A Java method is a unit. You know, unit meaning a smallest separable piece of code can be called as a unit, correct? A smallest separable piece of code can be called as a unit. Each Java method can be considered as a unit. To validate, to test, to validate Java units, nothing but simply methods, we can use the TestNG. What do you mean by validating Java methods? I created a method, for example, say we created a method for Gmail login. Let's assume you created a method for Gmail login, like public void Gmail login something, and you have developed appropriate code. Supposing we have created some appropriate code. Now, I want to test my code. Here I have created a code to test the functionality. I want to execute the method. After executing the method, I wanted the results. The code executed successfully or not. I want to test this method by executing it. For this, we can use TestNG. Not just for executing the code, executing a method and validating its results. There are many other features available. There are many other features offered or available in the TestNG. You please confirm, first of all, did you understand this point, everyone? See, yesterday and day before yesterday, we have created some methods. We have created some methods. By calling the methods from other test case, we are executing that. Now, after creating a Java method, which is called a unit, I want to execute this method. Once we have installed the TestNG, we can make use of the TestNG feature. There is an annotation called TestNG annotation called @test. If a method is configured or associated with @test annotation, automatically that method gets executed. After executing the method, it produces the test results pass fail. If the code executed successfully without getting any exceptions, errors, we get the results pass automatically. Otherwise, we get the results fail. Like this, there are many other features available in the TestNG. Just I have introduced you only one thing. If you want to execute the methods, we can make use of the TestNG. And also, TestNG offered many other features for test execution purpose. So let us learn. First, let me brief out what are the various TestNG features available. Here I am listing what are the various TestNG features. The first one, the TestNG provided a feature called annotations. Annotations. What for these annotations? Annotations are used to control the program execution sequence. Here, I told you, after creating a method, I want to execute this method. I'll use one of the TestNG annotation @test. Similarly, and yesterday and day before yesterday, we have created some code units. For every test case, what is the precondition? For executing any test case, what is the precondition? Please answer me via the chat box. Opening a browser, good. What is the post condition? What is the post condition? Yes, closing a browser. Right, now what I can do, I'll create, yesterday we have created a method, right? That launch application something. See this one. Here, I'll configure this launch application. See, continuously people are pinging. I'll configure this launch application method using before test something. I'll configure this close application method using another annotation after test something, so that Before executing each test case, automatically this method will be called. After executing each test case, automatically this method will be called. So preconditions and post conditions configurable using the TestNG annotation. We learn all the features one by one. Just I'm listing the features first. TestNG offers some annotations to control the program execution sequence. And TestNG offered assertions, validations. As of now, we are writing a if condition. If expected URL and actual URL are set match, produce the test pass, otherwise fail. Not required hereafter. The TestNG provided built-in assertions, nothing but validation. In very simple terms, assertions are nothing but validation. For performing the functional validation, TestNG provided some assertions. And test reports. As of now, we are printing the results in the console using system.out.println, test pass, test fail. We are printing, not required. When you run the code using TestNG features, automatically test results are produced, test pass, test fail, HTML reports were produced. And we can create a test suite in an XML file. Test suite, meaning a collection of test cases we can group into one XML file so that when I run the XML file, automatically all test cases will be executed one after another. These are the major features offered by the TestNG. Here, there is a special annotation available for data-driven testing. We'll talk about that. Now, let me explain all these features one by one. For today, we learn annotations. The first feature of the TestNG annotations. What is these annotations? TestNG offered some annotations to control the program execution sequence, the program execution order. Not just controlling a program execution sequence, we can configure the preconditions and post conditions using TestNG annotations. Right. When you implement the annotations, you will understand practically what is the use of annotations. I said there are many annotations available, many annotations provided. First, let me list out all the annotations one by one. There is an annotation called @test. @test. What is this @test annotation? If you configure a method with @test annotation, if any method is associated with @test annotation, how to use we'll see today. If any method is configured with @test annotation, that method will be executed by TestNG. That method will be executed by the TestNG. Then TestNG generates appropriate results, that is pass or fail. If any method configured using @test annotation, that method gets executed by TestNG. After execution, automatically TestNG produce the test output pass or fail. How it will generate the test output? If the method executed successfully, What do you mean by method executed successfully? No errors are occurred. No errors occurred. Then TestNG produce result as pass. If any error occurred during test execution while executing the method, if any error occurred while executing the method, TestNG produce result as fail. Everybody, you just go through my notes. You just go through my notes, then I'll clarify. Try to understand, then I'll explain this one by one. See, TestNG is very, very important in every framework. In every automation test framework, we are going to use the TestNG. So slowly I'll teach you the TestNG topic by topic and annotation by annotation in all the things, because in order to crack an interview, it's a very, very important subject, TestNG. First you try to understand what I have explained, then I'll explain in a practical way. There are many annotations offered by the TestNG. TestNG is an API, an external framework used to execute the Java code units. See friends, if I'm implementing Selenium with Python combination, do we use TestNG? Tell me, you answer me. Supposing I'm implementing Selenium with Python combination, not Java, Python combination. Do we use TestNG? Just I'm checking your knowledge, that's it. Yes? Yes? No. And do remember, TestNG is a Java unit testing framework. It's a Java unit testing framework. To validate Java units, Java code units, we can use TestNG. If I'm implementing Selenium with C#, Selenium with Python, no, TestNG not useful. We don't use TestNG. It is used for executing Java programs, not Python, not C#.NET. If I'm implementing Selenium with Python combination, we know instead of Eclipse, we can also use Eclipse. Recommended to go with PyCharm, Python editor. And we configure, like TestNG, we configure a API PyUnit, which is used to validate Python code units, PyUnit. If we are going with Selenium and C#.NET combination, we have to go with NUnit. TestNG used only in the case of Selenium and Java combination, not for Selenium and Python, not used for Selenium and C#.NET. To execute the code units for different programming languages, different APIs are available. I hope somewhere you heard about JUnit. You heard about JUnit? JUnit. It's a Java unit testing tool. JUnit. The same way, JUnit, TestNG is the enhanced version of the JUnit. Today we are not using JUnit. It's an enhanced version of the JUnit. Let's see here. Here just I'm typing what is TestNG in the Google. See, TestNG belongs to another organization, testng.org. TestNG is a testing framework inspired from JUnit and NUnit, but introducing some new features that make it more powerful and easy to use. By this statement, what you are understanding here, TestNG is a testing framework inspired from JUnit and NUnit. But you have some extra features that makes it powerful and easy to use. Say, today we are not using JUnit for that reason, because whatever the features available in the JUnit, as it is taken, some extra features are introduced into TestNG. We don't use TestNG for Python. We don't use TestNG for C#.NET. If I are going with C#.NET, we go with this NUnit. We go with NUnit. Okay. If I are going with Selenium and Python combination, we don't use TestNG. We go with PyUnit. PyUnit. Right. So if any method is configured with @test annotation, if a method configured with @test annotation, that method will be executed by TestNG and generate the appropriate test results pass fail. If the method executed successfully, if no errors are occurred, see from this statement, what you have understood here, you no need to make an explicit call for the method. Yesterday we called it. Maybe if it is a static method, class name dot method name. If it is a non-static method, by creating an object for the class, we are calling it. If I'm going with TestNG, which is not required, just I configure or I associated the method using @test annotation. The method associated with @test annotation will be implicitly called. If the code executed successfully without throwing any errors, we get the results as pass. Right. Now let's see. In order to demonstrate the TestNG features, I'm creating a new project here. I'm creating a new Java project. The name I'm giving here TestNG underscore demo or TestNG underscore project. Finish. So as of now, the name is TestNG project, but as of now, it is a Java project, correct? As of now, it is a Java project. So now what I'm doing, already we have installed TestNG in our Eclipse environment. We have to associate the TestNG library. How? I'm going to the properties of the project, Java build path, the Java build path. We have an option here, add library. Previously, we are adding external jar file, Selenium jar file, but now I am adding TestNG library. Click add library. If TestNG is installed on your Eclipse environment, then only this will appear. If TestNG is successfully installed on your Eclipse environment, then only TestNG will appear here. Click next, finish. Apply, and close. You do observe the TestNG associated to your project now. Java and TestNG was associated. So as of now, I am not associating Selenium. First, we learn the TestNG concept, then we go with the Selenium. Okay, right. Now here, I'm creating a new package. So maybe with the name. Okay. TestNG.demo something. In TestNG.demos, I'm creating my Java class. I'm giving a name like, okay, to demonstrate the TestNG annotations, let me explain on a simple, easily understandable example first to start with. Okay, Gmail test. My Java class name, Gmail test. Done. Now here, I'm creating a method for example, send mail. This time to teach you the concept, I'm not writing any actual code. I'm just printing some message. Like send mail test. A method I have created, just some sample code I have put inside the method. You please observe what I'm doing here. Here, I'm using the first annotation, what I have teach you. Annotations are preceded with @ symbol. You please observe this one. @test, which is a TestNG annotation. I use this TestNG annotation. A method is configured using one annotation @test. Okay. Let us run this code now. I'm running this code now. You do observe now, this is my console output. We are printing something inside the method, right? Send mail test. That is printed here. My method name send mail, we are getting the output as pass. One test case executed. See, first time you are seeing something like this. One test case executed pass. No failed test, no skip test. Totally one test executed, no fail, no skip, meaning that one was pass. This is the console output. The first time we are getting the test output in this way because of the TestNG, because we have executed this program using the TestNG. Okay, anyhow, console output is a temporary output, leave the console output. You please observe this one now. The first time we are seeing something like this. One test case executed, 1 out of 1 is pass. One method executed. One pass, 0 fail, and 0 skip. In order to get this output, which is a HTML output, we have not written any extra code. TestNG built-in feature it is, generating the test report. Okay, our method name send mail. It is also showing the time took for execution. And here I'm refreshing my project because it's a permanent output. I say console output is temporary output. In your project folder, if you go to D drive somewhere where the project available, this folder will be created and different format of the test reports will be generated. You know, reports will have an extension .html. I right click here, index.html, open with a browser, web browser. This is another format of the test report. Gmail test executed, one test method executed and pass. It's index.html. See here we have one more report, emailable report.html. Let us open this from the Eclipse. If you want to open this outside of the Eclipse, we can open using any of the browser. It's another format of the test report. These kind of test reports will be automatically generated by the TestNG. Let's see where is this folder. In my D drive, my workspace name Java tutorials, the project name TestNG project, folder name test output. I copied this. Here directly I'm going to the folder. In this folder, all these reports are permanently available. If I executed one more time, these reports are moved to old folder. New recently generated reports will appear outside of the folders. The same thing you can open from outside of the Eclipse also. Say this index.html. HTML files are report files here. Automatically TestNG will generate this HTML report. Open with some browser, any browser you can take. This time. Okay. Do confirm, did you understand what is this @test annotation? I'll extend one more example also I will give. What is the doubt, Sudha? Is there any, there are multiple methods. I am going to explain that. Sudha, I am going to explain. Just I started with only one method. Right here. See, did I call this sendMail method from anywhere? Yesterday, day before yesterday, what we have did, we are calling the method explicitly, correct? But today, did you call this method anywhere? Did you made a call for sendMail method from anywhere? No, right? We have configured or associated the method using @test annotation. I told you here clearly, if you configure a method using @test annotation, automatically that method will be executed and produce the test results pass fail. Right, right. Now, here I'm writing one more method. I'm writing one more method here. Say receive mail, for example. receive mail test. This method also I'm configuring with @test annotation. Okay. Totally, how many test methods are available here? In this class, we have 2 test methods, right? Now let me run this. Okay. Now see the console output so that you'll get better understanding. You please observe the results now. You understood this one? The 2 methods are executed. The 2 methods are executed. You have any questions to me here? I'm expecting a question from you here. If you really understand @test annotation, you must post a question to me here. By seeing these results, you should get a question to me. Yes. So if I open programs, you will post your question. We'll do that. I'll do that. Here is the output. Fail scenario we see, Ravitesh. First, I'll go in an order where you will understand everything properly. I'll explain the fail scenario also. Sudha posted something. Will it executed in alphabetical order? Second method executed first. Correct. Why second method was executed first? Because if there are multiple methods in a TestNG class, by default they will be executed in alphabetical order. R comes first, S comes next, right? So receive mail was executed first, later send mail was executed here. You understand this one? If there are multiple methods inside a TestNG class, see, I'm running a class, correct? This class has multiple methods. They will be executed in alphabetical order. As R comes first, receive mail was executed first. Later send mail was executed. Okay, otherwise, let us see this one. Slightly I'm changing it. This method name is B. This is B. This method name A. This is A. I'll run this. You see the output now. The methods are executed in alphabetical order. Got it? If there are multiple test methods inside a TestNG class, by default, they will be executed in alphabetical order. Okay. Now, supposing My first method launch application. My next method, say admin login. If I run this testng clause, which method will run first? If I run this testng clause, which method will run first? No doubt, admin login. Because I said if there are multiple methods, they will be executed in alphabetical order. Definitely admin login will run. My question, without launching the application, if admin login method is trying to execute it, definitely we get the errors, right? Without launching the application, how admin login code can be executed? Got it? Right. So now, okay, I'll run this. As of now, we don't have any code, just we are printing. So definitely that output will be printed. But if I have the actual code, definitely we get the error. Then what to do in this scenario? By default, methods are executed in ascending order, alphabetical order, but still we have a option. We have some testng options here. We can configure the priority keyword. See, I'm introducing you another option here, priority keyword. Here we have priority. We can configure the priority. Priority equal to 0. What you want to run first, that you can configure. Index order wise, they will be executed. Here I'm putting priority equal to 1. So in the index order, they will be executed. Now, as the priority value I configured to 0, launch application will run first, admin login run next, because based on the index value. Let me run this now. You please observe here now. I hope you understand this now, how to control this. If there are multiple methods, by default, they will be running in alphabetical order. By configuring priority keyword, yes, you can change this order. You understood? Please confirm so that I'll go with the next annotation. By default, if there are multiple methods, they will be executed in alphabetical order. Still, you have an option to change this order by configuring appropriate keywords, priority keyword, using priority keyword, so that index order wise they will be executed. So that your doubt was clear? Right. Now, I'll just go to send mail and receive mail. Because in one program, I'm trying to demonstrate all the testng annotation. Maybe it is send mail test. Say, this is receive mail. Right. And here I'm giving a small note about this, previously whatever I have explained. setting test priorities. Because all these are very, very important interview questions. For that reason, slowly I'm giving the notes also. Setting test priorities. What is the setting priorities? By default, TestNG execute test methods in alphabetical order. You can change this order by configuring test priorities. By configuring test priorities. Like this. So here, the least priority, index wise, they will be executed. Well, now, how to skip a test method from its execution? For some reason, I do not want to execute a test method. How to do that? It's another important interview question. Here, one important interview question, generally frequently asked interview question. I have multiple methods, test methods in a TestNG class. When I run, how they will be executed? We have to answer by default, they will be running in alphabetical order. Okay. Is there any option to change this order? Yes. By configuring priority keyword, we can change this order. Right. Now, the another expected interview question also here, how to skip the test method from its execution? How to skip test method from its execution? Let's see. To demonstrate this, let's assume this is one method A. This is A. Or say method 1. Method 2. Same way, I'm creating one more method here. Method 3. Three methods I have created. When I run, what happens when I run this? How many methods will be executed? No doubt 3 methods will be executed. Oh. I have to configure this using @test annotation. I'm running this. You please observe the output. The three methods are executed. Right. Now you answer my question. For some reason, I do not want to run method 3. I do not want to run method 3. Don't smartly answer saying that delete the method. I do not want to delete it. Maybe tomorrow I may need it. For some reason, temporarily I want to skip this method. What to do? Listen. By default, all test methods enabled for test execution. By default, all methods are enabled for test execution. There is a keyword called enable. The default value is true. So default enable keyword value is true. By changing or by configuring enable value to false, we can skip the method from test execution. You please understand this, I'll explain again. By default, all test methods are enabled for test execution. So default enable value is true. By configuring enable value to false, we can skip the method from execution. See, we can comment, we can delete. We can comment, we can delete also. Rather than commenting and deleting, which is not a good mechanism, we have a small option given to skip the test method from execution. Why only comment? We can delete it, right? We can delete it, right? So here, see, there is a keyword enabled. I said by default enable value is true. As default enable value is true, explicitly you no need to configure this. Okay, for your understanding, here I am putting enabled equal to true. The last method I do not want to execute for some reason. Here I am putting enabled equal to false. Here nothing was configured, meaning default enabled value is true. Now, for your understanding, I put this enabled equal to true. Here I configured enable value to false. Now, let me run this. You please observe here now. Please observe the output. You see the output. Only the two methods were executed. Only two methods were executed. The last method was not executed. If I remove this, yes, the last method also will be executed again. I'm running this now. The three methods are executed. This is the console output. This is our TestNG output. Total three are executed. Okay, totally three methods are executed. Right. Well, so this program explains you how to skip a method from test execution. I'm putting the code here. So by default, all methods will be executed for test execution. Default enabled value is true. By configuring enabled value to false, instead of deleting, instead of commenting the entire code, if there is 100 lines of code, instead of commenting all lines of code, simply you can change the keyword enabled to false so that this method will not be executed. So today I have introduced you only two things. What is @test annotation? How to set the priorities, how to control the execution sequence, and how to skip a test method from the execution. For today, I stop here, and tomorrow I'll introduce you other annotation before the test, after the test, before method, after method, before class, after class, before the suit and after suit. There are many other annotation. See, whenever, wherever they are applicable, we have to use them properly. Simply using before test or after test is not correct. Because one of the students posted me, so why can't we use before test and after test? There is a reason where we have to, there is a scenario where we have to use before test and after test. So today, first you listen to me, you'll understand. I introduce you only @test annotation, how to configure the priorities, and how to skip the method from the execution. Yes. There is a question from one of the students. In the console output, skip value is not found. Yes, I agree with you. Tomorrow I'll teach you that we have to add a skip exception. We have to add skip exception so that that will be displayed. And who posted this question? What is your name? Good question. I planned it tomorrow actually. We have to add a skip exception. Yes, a study video also will be uploaded today. And what is your name? The person who posted a question, console output skip value is not found. What is your name, friend? Yes. Okay. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you, friends. We'll continue tomorrow.